Yo, what's up, lads and ladies? Good morning. This is going to be a classic patch note video. I'm not going to go over the full patch notes because it's a really, really big patch note. So I'll link it in the comments below if you want to go into detail in a couple sections like Ren or like the Star Force changes or like little things that I'm going to talk about, stuff like this, right? And we'll go from there. But I want to sort of relate to it, how it's going to affect my account in total, right? So one of the first things that are in the patch notes, we're going to be able to see this here. There's a ton of stuff here. New Job Ren, Star Force Traces, Gear Rental, Jenny Pass. The list goes, it just goes on and 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 on. It's crazy. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Star Force revamp and all the things that come with this, right? So we get the 30-star patch, and then when we boom items, we start at different stars. This doesn't really matter, in my opinion. It only matters if you boom 23 to 25 and you skip 1 star from 18 to 19. So I don't think this really matters as much as we want it to, but like, it's cool, whatever. It saves us some meso here and there. There's the odds as well, including here. But this is a massive one, right? This is a trace restoration system. Now, there is like soft 2 methods to do this, and then technically next month there's going to be a familiar exploration thing that will also supposedly supply pitch boss items, which means there's low-key, like technically 3 ways that we can restore our pitched items now with more traces and more sources of pitched items. Super cool. How does this work? You have various missions in bosses, which you will use the currency you get from these missions to restore an item. You can only hold 1,750 points. So you cannot infinitely stockpile this amount and then spend it whenever you want to, right? You will hit a cap eventually, so you cannot hoard forever. So you'll want to spend and use the system to constantly regenerate points and constantly restore traces, and then save all those items for a Star Force event, and then pray that they don't boom. It details here that you can select various missions based on bosses, and you will have like bonus damage taken, bonus things that I believe you will have to do all of these solo. But this, for me, do I quit Extreme Seren and just start doing Hard Seren insta-pop solo to generate more points, right? Do I quit Extreme Black Mage and start doing Hard Black Mage to generate more points, right? Because now I can pity a Jenny badge, as we'll see later. So Extreme Black Mage doesn't even matter for me. I don't have a Dreaming, but I don't care about EEs. A couple things to think about, right? A bit of food for thought, you know what I mean? But one thing they mention here, which I am so happy that they mention, because I was really worried about this, right? There's a key line here. Please note that equipment destroyed before the system was introduced are restored to 12-star as per the existing rules. So, what's a live example of this? What does this mean? My Dawn Warrior is currently... Is it 5 set or 6 set pitched? I'm currently 5 set pitched, as you can see. And I'm sitting on 6 set, 7 set, 8 set, 9 set, and then a Jenny Badge would get me to 10 set. So I can restore these Dreamy Belts, I can restore these ETs, and I can restore my TC. Because I can do it to items from before the change. So in practice, with the new pity, I am 10 set on my Dawn Warrior. What? What an insane change. Honestly, probably the best patch they've ever done of all time. I revive ETs until I get a 22 or a 21. I revive Dreamies until I get a 22 or a 21. I send the CFBs to 22, and then if I don't get it, I just revive them. I send the eye patches for 23 or 24s. I get my TC to guaranteed 18 star, and just wear it. Because then with TC, I'm 6 set. And then if I get, like, the Dreamy or the CFE to 21, I'm 8 set. If I then get the ET, I'm 9 set. And then if I get the Jenny badge, I'm 10 set. I think that the most efficient way for me to do this is to 18 star my TC and then 21 or 22 in ET, right? Because then I'm 7 set pitched with Gollux, which is like it's where you want to be, right? With Gollux is a crazy power. Like, I could get to 8 set with Gollux, you know? That might even rival 9 set or 10 set just as a whole, because of how strong Gollux is. So, my Dawn Warrior is juicing, which is crazy. This might change my plan a little, depending on how the Trace Restoration works. I might have to grind a bit as well. Now, you might wondering, why would I grind on my Dawn Warrior? Well, there is a new secondary system here, which is the Star Force Research. This is the second way that we can restore items. Now, this works on any item. So you can have standard items, Dawn Boss items, and Pitched Boss items. And to do these, you need a certain currency that comes from grinding. Basically, you kill monsters, you get a box. You open a box, you get a random item. I don't know if these boxes are account-bound, character-bound. I don't think it says. My assumption is that they're untradeable, and it's all based on each individual character. Which is kind of annoying, because I'm going to be grinding my Ren instead of my Dawn Warrior. But let's hypothetically say that this system takes me too long to restore my ET, so I want to also grind it out and restore an ET this way. I could put my ET trace in the new restoration system. It would then tell me, oh, you need a pitch star core, which I craft from 1 star core, which is 200 star specs, which is the small version, and then 50 shining star specs, which is the large one. So I need 200 to craft this, and then 50. And I can use this as a fodder for any pitched item. Any pitched item. CFE, ET, Dreamy, Sauce, any pitched item. I can just restore with this, which is crazy. Also, along with this same system, there is this, which is a currency to basically generate a pitched item. So the way this works is you craft X amount of crystals. I get 150, 260, or 390, and I can either get a Pitch Boss set equipment, which you cannot get TC from. I can get a Mitra's Rage, or I can get a Genesis badge. I'm assuming Book is included in this top set, because if not, then it's just kind of weird. But this is every single pitched item based on this parlance here, which means you can print 10 set on any character from just getting enough to pitched Whisper crystals. Now, we don't know how many you get per boss kill, right? They are guaranteed to drop from this thing here, right? So a pitch difficulty, hard extreme, hard Damien, hard Lucid, hard Will, hard Darknell, Sea Gloom, hard Vihilla, hard and extreme Saren, hard and extreme Black Mage. They are guaranteed to drop, which means eventually you will get enough, and you will craft, and you will get gains. If you just play consistently, you will be able to make the items that you need. So I can make a Mitra, I can make a Jenny badge, I can make a book, and I can get 3 set pitched without booming a single one. I would never make a Genesis badge until you're 9 set pitched, because a Genesis badge is 3 pitched items. A Jenny badge is an ET, a Sauce, and an ET, an Eye Patch, and a Berserk, right? So I would never make a Jenny badge until I have everything else. But, again, let's take another in-game example, right? If these currencies are character-bound instead of account-bound, I'm going to be generating these on multiple characters. So why does that matter? Because I'm still gearing my Lyn, as well as my Dawn Warrior, and my Ren, which I'll be gearing. So my Lyn is 2 set pitched. I want a Mitra. If I just keep bossing on my Lyn, I can just make a Mitra. You know? It's the one thing I want on my Lyn. I just want a Mitra. I could also then craft a Berserk, and then I'm 4 set pitched on my Lyn, and a Berserk would only be 130. It would be super easy. And then I can use the trace restoration system to... You see what I mean? This system is so good. And this is just one of the small things in this patch. This system is crazy. The amount of potential for growing our characters and our accounts and everything is insane. And dude, I have to say it again. I have to reiterate it. This works on items acquired before the patch. So, for example, my Lin is also sat on an eye patch. I can just restore this eye patch, get a Berserk. I don't even need the Mitra. And then I'm 4-set pitched, right? Same for my Zero. My Zero is sat on an ET. This would get my Zero to like 5-set or 6-set. You know, it would be the same set as my Dawn Warrior, dude. Just from doing bosses and playing the game. I'm on... What am I on? If I swap to damage gear... I'm 4-set. With the ET, I'm 5-set. With the CFE, I'm 6-set. If I get a Dreamy Belt, I'm 7-set. On my Zero. You know? And I can soft guarantee that by just doing bosses weekly and potentially grinding to restore traces with this new system. It's absolutely game-changing and the best thing they've ever done. I cannot say this enough. I am thrilled with this new system. I don't even care about any of the other issues with the game anymore. Because this solves all of my gameplay issues. You know how I used to tell people that the downside of Reboot is that at endgame, you cannot guarantee your items, so this is why some people prefer Reg Server if they're a high-spending player, because they can just use the auction house and buy the items. Bro, that's not even a factor anymore. You know, I just play the game and I guarantee all the items. Everything. This is like a soft pity system for 3 different systems. All at the same time, and there's another one coming next month in the familiar check. Bro, I haven't even spoken about familiars. Look, I'm sorry. Ignore the patch review, dude. Like, this patch is the best thing they've ever done for Heroic, and I genuinely believe that this will massively change the way that a lot of people interact with the game and generate tons of more weekly active users, daily active users, monthly active users, because the game is actually fucking good. It's crazy. There's so much more in there that I want to talk about, but I'm just like so stun-locked by this new like pitch change system and pity system and trace restoration and everything. It makes it so much more playable, bro. So much more playable. Now, the thing is, when you're trying to push for, like, 24s and 25s in hyper endgame, or, like, late game, or whatever the fuck people call it, like, you're still going to have a bit of a hiccup, right? You still have to make 2 of every item, ladder them both to 23 to 24, and then, like, pray to God when you go for 25s. But as someone that's, like, a 22 Andy... My Dawn Warrior will be 10-set 22. It might take me a couple months. It might take me half a year. But the thing is, I can guarantee it. Because I can just restore the trace, try again. 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 It's a numbers game. Eventually, I will hit. And bro, I can just buy a Jenny badge at the end of it. Crazy. So yeah, I'm a massive fan of this system. I think it's really, really good. I'm absolutely, absolutely thrilled. And I cannot wait to see what else they have in store for GMS in the future. But, you know, I just want to say to Team GMS, they don't watch my videos, but if they do, I'm really impressed with this. I think it's really good. Like, thank you very much for making a really cool, unique GMS system that functions for us with all these new, like, avenues of gear progression and restoration and varied trials for increased gear, like, restoration speed, rewarding endgame players with all of this, or rewarding mid-game to early game players that want to challenge themselves, or all this stuff, right? Super, super happy with this. I think this is one of the best systems they could have made. And it's a GMS exclusive thing, so W Team GMS. Really happy with this. Really, really happy with this. I think it's fantastic. Okay, moving on. The gear rental system. Now this one, I was expecting this to be fully pay to win and not use in-game currency at all. I was expecting this to be like real money only, and that's the only way you can use it. But I can buy all of this with Meso in-game. So all I need to do is make more Meso from bossing than I make from renting. As an example, I'm making my Ren in Challenge World. I won't have an Oz ring for bossing. I can rent a Roar. This ring here is a Ring of Restraint, or a continuous ring. I can rent this for 100 million Meso, and as long as I kill I don't know, like Chaos Vellum and Hard Magnus, I make more money than I spent on the ring. Now extrapolate that into actual real bossing, where I'll do like a Hard Lotus, a Hard Damien, a Hard Lucid, a Hard Will, Sea Gloom, Hard Vihila, all this stuff, right? And I'll just pay a fraction of the money that I earn to have an Ring to make it exponentially easier. And this is the same, if I don't have Gollux, I can just rent this 4 set of accessories, which is a very easy Gollux replacement, because they all come 20 star with 75 attack, 120 all stat, 3 line main stat. So they are absolutely crazy, which means that, for example, on a new character where I don't have Gollux, you know how I have Gollux here, if I don't have this, I can just rent the Beryl set from Nexon, and I'm just super strong. So this will make liberating a lot easier on my Ren. It will make bossing a lot easier. It will make getting 5% carries a hell of a lot easier, because I'll just be able to print all of this gear instantly. Super, super impressed. The totems are really good. It's 30 all-stat each, plus 15 attack each, and there is a set effect as well. So this is like 60 attack and 90 all-stat on these totems, which is really good. Am I going to buy the totems? Probably not. Maybe when I try and do, like, the Sea Kalos Destiny mission, I might rent them. The other curiosity I have here is that we're getting the new ring swap button in this patch. And it means you can wear 2 rings at the same time and instantly swap between them. Can I rent the Roar 4 replacement and then have my real Roar 4 for my main burst and my Beryl Roar 4 for my mini burst? Can I do that? Because if I can, that seems very good. We'll find out, right? We'll find out. That'll be very good. Genesis Pass, this is the... multiply the amount of traces you get. Basically, you go from liberating in like 4 months to 1 month. Super, super good. I'm going to buy this. It's NX only. Yeah, this is the ring swap, yeah? So you have a ring, you equip a second ring, you press a button on your keyboard that will then instantly swap your ring. Super, super sick. I think that's kind of like the super big things that like I wanted to talk about. Buff sequence, I'm not really familiar with it. We should probably talk about the FAMs, right? There's a ton more in here, so I'm going to link the... post down below, because I don't want to be sat here talking for 40 minutes or 50 minutes about the patch, because there is a massive amount of stuff in here, bro. It's a crazy patch. But they changed familiars. The familiar UI is totally different. They added a pity to familiars. You can now buy tier up for, like, what's it called? Breakthrough in Reboot, which you couldn't do anymore. But the big thing here is that they have removed a very large amount of lines. As you can see, movement speed, jump, all skill +1, auto steal, and remember, each of these lines have different values associated to them. So auto steal is from 1 to 7. So this doesn't remove 1 line from the pool. As far as I'm aware, the way this works, this removes 7 lines, because this line has 7 variants, you know? Chance to ignore damage when attacked is like 10%, 20%, 40%, 30%, and then you've got an extra value on the other side of like 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. So all of these things have like various different modifiers on them that inflate the line pool. So, like a great example here is like attacks have to inflict stun, blah, 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 blah. Level 1, level 2, level 3. So this is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 18 lines removed, right? Think about the way that this impacts familiar variants for boss fams, attack fams, large drop fam. I would imagine, assuming that everything is weighted evenly, the average variance to getting those items has gone way down. And, for example, a drop fam is 128 or 138 or something. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being like 112 because of the amount of lines that have been removed. And that also, like, extrapolate that across to boss fams and attack fams, right? It applies both ways. So a boss fam is, what, 800 familiars? 700 familiars? I forget the exact number. That might be like 600 now. Who knows? This is a crazy change. This is a crazy change. Assuming that everything is weighted evenly. Which I don't know if we'll ever be able to tell. Yeah. Really, really, really cool. And then they also have a new guarantee system. You see here, there is a 14 pity on tiering up from epic to unique. So if you fail 14 times, I believe the 15th will be guaranteed. Or if it's you fail 13 times, the 14 out of 14 is the guarantee. But at least a pity is there, bro. You know? I think the worst fam I had was like 10 failed tier ups in a row. I believe it was on my Demon Slayer, and it was miserable. So at least there is a pity now, right? Sure, it's pretty high, but at least it's there. Remember, we used to not have a pity, right? And then also, they are removing Polo Fritto in maps, and they're adding something called Treasure Chest, which instead of having to leave your map and lose your map every time you're grinding, just a big box will appear in your map, you'll kill it, you do 10 of them a day, and you get a massive amount of EXP. Super, super good change. Rune of Blessing is a new rune, which is a 3x rune, and it can appear on a percentile chance every so often, right? So 1 to 4 runes, it's normal runes only. On your 5th and beyond, you have a percentile chance to obtain this new 3x rune. It pops up, it does like a giant blue circle, it kills mobs, gives you more experience. Really good. And there's a ton of stuff in here, right? There's a ton of stuff in here. Monster Park is now absolutely crazy. The Odium Monster Park is something like 400 bill EXP a day with no modifiers. So with an event skill bonus on a sunny Sunday, you're looking at like 1T plus a day from Odium Monster Park. It's insane. It's insane. There's some skill changes. There's a ton of, like, all link skills are now level 3, bro. Like, also, this is something I wasn't expecting. They made the stackable links go to level 9. What? What? Storage can be used anywhere. Like, dude, there's a crap ton of stuff in here, bro. Oh, yeah, this is the other big one I want to talk about. The Soul Order Weekly. The Soul Order Daily has been removed. It's been turned into a weekly. And they now give you enough Soul Order as if you were doing the daily on 2 characters. And then they increase the amount of fragments you get by like 6 or something. I don't know. The downside of this is that it is now account bound. So it can be changed to be completed once per account. This means that if you're someone that wanted to play on Challenge World and do the Fragment Daily on both servers, you can't do that anymore. So the only double dip you're getting is Monster Park, which is still massively worth it, because the amount of EXP you get from Monster Park is absolutely insane now. It's super worth it. But for people that wanted to like double print frags, can't do that anymore. Have to pick one of them and stick with that character. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. There's an absolute crap more in here, bro. Like, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. It just keeps going, right? It just keeps... And here's, like, I haven't even spoke about the event. But there's just so much stuff in here, bro. So I'm going to link this down below, and you guys can have a look if you're, like, super curious. But I just wanted to talk about the things that, like, interest me. Because I'm super, super chuffed with this, dude. I'm a massive fan of... Yeah, there's a ton of stuff in there. I'm a massive fan of the Pitched Pity and all the system changes and the Star Forcing thing. I think it's the best patch they've ever done. I'm definitely not biased because I'm re-rolling main to Ren. 100% no. That's not what it is. Don't think about it. I'm not in a good mood. I'm the boring, British, depressed, sad Alex that I always am. Don't think about it. I didn't laugh a single time in this video or smile. But yeah, let me know what you guys are interested in, bro. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more insane, crazy Ren content coming soon. Check me out on stream. We'll be doing some big giveaways, a couple, I think. And we'll be having a nice time on Ren. But yeah, I'll see you then. Let me know what you think. What is the best part of the patch for you? For me, it's definitely the pitched item restore and the pitch pity. I can't believe they actually made it. My Dawn Warrior is technically 10 set now because I already have all of the traces. So all I need to do is restore them. Bro, I'm so happy that traces from before the patch are applying, bro. I'm so happy. I was so worried that traces from before were not going to apply. I was like dooming so hard. So hard. So, really impressed. Really, really happy with the new system. Think it's super, super good. And yeah, I'll see you guys when the game goes live. And then it goes down for like 2 hours. And then 20 hours after that. Peace.